we got Big U, we got Big Shiny Mac, got Big Sleep, Big D, you know, Baby, and a few others that's in the industry. What do you think pulling our resources together like we did on the streets and become one unit in the industry, that we can dominate that profession? Why don't we do that?
I think we do it, but I think we do it when only when it's needed. We don't do it as much as we should. Like if certain people call me, I'm there to help them. Like I'm 100% a supporter of Kev Mac films. But if everybody was a 100% supporter of Kev Mac films, we would see a bigger push. But really, man, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of like greed or separation even between us. But I feel like we winning in the industry as far as a group or a team, somebody from one section. We are the dominant. We got even outside of me, Big D, S Mac, we got little homies that's really like running the club scene. We got all of the basically the promoters of the club somehow deal with LJ, with Marquise and all of them in some way. You got what is that? Secret Sundays. You got KAOD. You got they little shit, all the little club shit they doing. Then you got me pushing music. You got Big D and S Mac pushing music. You got S Mac in sports with the boxing. So we really doing it, and but we definitely could be doing it more and then putting more people on. And I think when Peanut came home, Peanut was me and Peanut talked. And it always take one person to come home and say, "Man, this is what y'all need to be doing," and then that be that person to put it together. And because it's not like it can't be done, and it definitely should be done more on the industry. We'd be winning more.
Because I've been looking at these pictures you've been posting,
Right.
and looking at you guys really young. You guys all got 40 plus years together as youngsters.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys dominated the city together as youngsters.
Right.
And now as men, you guys are on your top shit in the industry.
Right.
I was just trying to figure out why you guys had to pull together as men like you did as kids.
You know, I think we do. Because like we have a lot of successes. You know, you have a lot of successes in different areas. And then you got like me. I really don't get a lot of money in music more than I get a lot of money around music. Um, I might make $250,000 a year on music, but I make more of my money on doing other things outside of music. The concerts, the bookings, the features, the different things that happen around dealing with artists. And then now I kind of went back and started focusing hard on developing option with my contracts with the city and doing that. So it's like we do a lot of other things to where I don't know there's not one of us, not even me, who really 100% concentrates just on music.
So we do, the homies in the industries, in these professions, they do network with each other and scratch each other's back when needed.
We do, but not, when needed. But it's not, it's not like it could be and it should be. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta say I'm guilty of that too, because a lot of times, you know, it's about passing the torch, and it really is just like I said. It would take one person to come and say, "Man, this is what we need to be doing," or "This is what we should be doing," and I'm always open to it because I see where we are, and I'm one of the people who recognize where we are. I always tell the homies all the time. They say the hood is fucked up, and I tell them, "No, that's not, because our fucked up is a lot better than a whole lot of motherfuckers top pushing it." So you could be at the top so long and don't really realize where you are. And we could be guilty of that. We could be guilty of having successes, and then when we look back, we gotta look and say, "Damn, we was at the top," and we didn't realize it. You know what I'm saying? But when I look out and I talk to other people from around the world and other people around the country, it's easy for them to recognize where we are as the men of Crenshaw, and where we are in the industry, where we are as far as businesses, but we still allow other people to shit on us on our steps, and I try to fight that all the time, though.
I'm just saying, though, we was a powerhouse on the streets, and we can be a powerhouse professionally.
Shit, that's what Kevin Mac's job is. You know what I'm saying? Make everybody come together. I mean, because I'm in it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with it. You know what I mean? I feel like us as a land and a team, and I always hear a lot of people talk, but it was that group of people, you know what I mean, that really came off of that block that infected the way the mind think. And I like to say that when we came off the AG, we infected the way the homies think because we thought broadly. We thought about we wasn't just staying in the hood. It wasn't about us wearing khakis and 501s to stay in the hood every day. We was dressing, going to get money. GB was the first. GB and S Mac was the first ones doing music, in as far as doing on a corporate level. I would like to say when Laquan brought me in the early '80s into the music business, I was thinking like that, like I want to do music because Laquan was the first one to give me that and say, look, let's go do some music. Because we was all really at that time still concentrating on selling dope in our respective cities. Because Big D was in Arkansas at that time, if I remember correctly. Stone was between Seattle and New Orleans, and I was in Minnesota, and I think GB and them might have been in Seattle too. But we was all different places chasing that bag. And then Laquan came out of nowhere with a gold single. After Laquan came, then came Lamont Broomfield with Kurupt. And when he brought Kurupt to the table, that led me to start looking at music. Then I went and got Delicious Entertainment. I started Delicious Entertainment. I got a club. Um, and that was my first time really actually giving that energy towards going into music.
And look, since you brought up Kurupt, I know me and you have had this discussion and we don't agree. But a lot of people in the comments
You said we don't agree.
a lot of people in the comments are always asking about Kurupt. Where did you meet Kurupt at and when?
I met Kurupt, I want to say 1980, probably 1980. I want to say 80, 89 with Lamont Broomfield on 59th and 8th Ave. Lamont Broomfield brought Kurupt to right across from Lil Bam house to Tone Tobin's house. Tone Tobin was producing for him. Me, GB, Bronco T, and who was that? JT and all us used to be over there clowning. We used to be filming, and Tone Tobin was recording, and that's when Kurupt came in, and he brought Kurupt. He was like, man, I want you to help me with this because he knew I was getting the bag. He was serious about music. So let me recorrect my statement. The first person, and I can say to me, out of all of us who was serious about music, was Lamont Broomfield. Other than me meeting Laquan early and Laquan bringing me into that. But Lamont Broomfield was the one who was dedicated to music out of all of us that I remember.
Rewind. Laquan brought you into what?
When Laquan came up to me in the mall, Laquan was the first one that took me to him. He asked me to manage him. I ain't know how to do no management. I mean, I don't know about no motherfucking management. And then he was like, man, come with me. Him and Tracy Jackson, brother, they was trying to rap and do music. Laquan had a song that was gold in 88, 89.
Speaking of Chucky.
Chucky, right. That's little Chucky. Yeah, that was Laquan and Chucky used to be together. And then that would brought Laquan to me. And then Laquan used to take me to all his videos. And then Laquan was moving at that time. He had a deal and everything. He the first one I knew had a deal. And I already had bread. So he was like, his father had went to jail. So he was like, bro, help me with this, uncle. I'm like, man, I don't know about no motherfucking music. So I used to go with him to all his videos. He used to take me to his video, action man, and I was just learning how that shit go from him. Then naturally, I'm back out of town. I'm going to get a bag. I'm in Minnesota. I'm trying to open up certain different states. You know what I'm saying? So when I come back, I'm like, what's happening? What you doing? He like, I'm going here. I'm going to come with me. And then that's when Laquan, then that's when Broomfield came with Kurupt. And I'm like, all right, I already been dabbing in it. You just trying to come in it. And then I'm like, cool. Because remember at the time, and I know Kev Mac remember, that's when I was doing Delicious Entertainment, the strippers. I had the strip business. I had Delicious Entertainment, me and Stone. We was doing the stripper parties. We did a stripper party at Jim Brown house. We did one. We did a couple of Stonehouse, and I just started running the strippers all over the city. And then I just signed a deal for a motherfucking club right when I went to jail.
And where were you finding these strippers at?
Shit, I think Lee Mac brought me the first one. I was just sitting around talking shit. One day we was sitting around, we at Cal House, we talking shit. Me and S Mac. And me, S Mac, I said, nigga, I done everything under the sun. I'd have been in jail for everything under the sun, but rape and kidnap. I ain't never done nothing to no kids. Like, nigga, you ain't never did no pimping. I'm just talking shit. Nigga, we did pimping in Minnesota. We was pimping. I ain't never did no pimping. No, but, you know, we selling shit to the hoes. But that was our story, you know what I mean? And so that led to me talking shit. And I swear to God, man, Lee Mac came into L.A. with a girl he had from Seattle and was talking about, man, she want to dance at Charlie's. And it went from there. I went from helping. We went from getting her a job at Charlie's. She was too young or something. However, Lee Mac was dealing with that. And then we started to listen to entertainment. We started doing the parties. From there, I just started moving, and then I added rap to Delicious Entertainment. I don't know if, hey, babe. I'm right here. Do we got one of them cards, Delicious Entertainment cards? Yeah. I got one of my old cards.
Who were the first artists signed to Delicious Entertainment?
Kurupt. Kurupt was the first one I was gonna sign.
When you met Kurupt, he introduced himself as Kurupt, or did he have
as Kurupt? No, his name was Kurupt. That's the only name I know him as, Kurupt. I ain't know him as nothing else. You don't want to hear that. No matter how you look at it, man, Kurupt was the first one. Man, let me tell you something about Kurupt. No matter, let me tell you, I just got truth.
Do you look at Kurupt?
Do
you look at him as an honorary 60 or an actual member of the gang?
I pulled Kurupt honorary. Kurupt is an actual member, bro. I pulled Kurupt out of a car. I'm not gonna say all the names who was in the car going to go get down. When I stopped him, because I was the little homies rolled down on me to get the tools back in the days. I'm blessing them. I look in the car, I see Kurupt in the car. This is why me and you always argue. And I tell Kurupt, I said, man, ain't you the little rapper I just met that's rapping for Broomfield? And Broomfield, he would tell you. And he like, oh, yeah. And I said, man, get out the car. And I'm like, man, and that was my first time discerning to somebody that you got a purpose to the game. Yours is to do the music and be successful. Let them just go do what they're going to do.
Sounds like you stopped him before you...
I did stop him.
Looks like you stopped him before you crossed over to being an official 60. You stopped.
I stopped that. I don't know what he did after that, because I went to jail right after that. I see Lamont Broomfield. I see Kurupt. Again at Tone. Like I said, we used to hang out at Tone Tobin Garage. And, Tone was doing music. We videotaping. We got the big video cameras. We in there, just having a ball. And that's what Kurupt was recording at. And then I ain't see Kurupt after that no more. I'm gone. I'm in prison, what? 4 years, 5 years? No, yeah, about 4 or 5 years, and I get some pictures in the mail from Kurupt, and some money, some pictures in the mail from Kurupt and my little brother. And then I'm like, the little dude, and they tell me he signed to Death Row, and he beefing with Lamont. And I'm like, damn, all right.
Well, what happened to Lamont?
Lamont died from a heart attack.
Did he ever achieve any...
He did. Him and his brother went on to build. They even sued. They even sued Suge. Suge for doing what he did for signing Kurupt. I think it was suing him for tampering. I think Broomfield got him maybe $2-3 million or something. I'm not really sure what that went there. Like I said, I was gone.
I want to ask you something. Then you can take over, Mac. No?
But as far as Kurupt, Kurupt was the first one to do a video on Crenshaw and Slauson, right? Yeah, The Streets is a Motherfucker. The Streets is a Motherfucker album where he got the blue Pendleton on. He's sitting on Crenshaw and Slauson, and they did the photo shoot. Him and Dad is riding lowriders up and down the block in the hood. Now you gotta remember, people always say he never said the hood. Nobody said no hoods before Nipsey. Nobody came out and said, even when CJ was rapping, CJ was masking the fact that he was from the hood. CJ put the dice on there with a 6 and a 1, with a 5 and a 1, and niggas had to do all kind of ingenious ways to let niggas know where they was from. Wasn't nobody coming like Nipsey. And that was the problem they was giving me when I was coming into the industry with Nipsey, was the fact that he said 60s. He's basically saying a gang. He's not saying a city. He's not saying this. He's saying a gang. So when Kurupt was doing, you got to remember, Kurupt signed to a blood label, and he rapping with some Long Beach dudes. So he had to be creative with what he was doing, what he was saying. He could just come out and do what Nip could do freely after being signed to your big homeboy, who niggas respected. And guess this, if Nip wouldn't have been signed to me, he wouldn't have been able to be as 6-0 this, 6-0 that, 6-0 this. They'd have changed him.
So look, when you guys signed that deal with Cinematic,
Cinematic Music Group.
they didn't pull you guys into the boardroom like, look, tone down the 60 talk.
No, that was me. That's what the big homie was for. I'm telling niggas in the gate, we ain't doing that. We saying the hood straight out. The only thing I did was make sure we didn't diss other niggas. Like on all our videos, I purposely went through the videos and made sure it wasn't nothing on the wall dissing niggas, wasn't dissing no sets, none of that. And I purposely looked at that. You know what I mean? I looked and made sure we wasn't gonna have nobody saying we dissing and all that. And you know, everything came out clean.